Howdy folks, I hope this video finds y'all all well and in good health. Today I'm going to take you guys along while I try a new method of dry baking. I'm still dry baking, but I'm using a different cook pot than I usually do on a twig stove. But the process should all be the same, and I thought maybe you guys might enjoy learning how to cook sweets or biscuits or anything like that out in the woods, out on the trail, out on a backpacking trip. Some people, it took me a while to perfect the method, and I can't say that I've really perfected it. Sometimes I still botch the job or whatnot. But yeah, I really like to have sweets, especially in the morning. Like if I'm out doing stuff in the woods, I like to have a breakfast. I like to have a sweet with my coffee. So it took me a little bit, but I found videos and other resources and read up on how to dry bake out in the trail. Most of the better resources I found were actually people in the backpacking and ultralight hiking community. A lot of those folks were very helpful in explaining to me how to accomplish dry baking. So normally I use my Ozark Trail Cup, and I use a little one cup size stainless steel measuring cup that has the handle removed, and dry baking is cooking with a cup within a cup, or a pot within a pot, and I just put that in there, and then it's the perfect muffin size. Well, I've actually lost that little cup somewhere, maybe not lost, misplaced, so I'm going to try to cook in this big pot on my little bitty twig stove. So yeah, I thought I'd take the opportunity to go ahead and film for you guys, so maybe if you're interested in dry baking, you've been curious about how to make sweets out in the woods, or just kind of expand your cooking skills, I thought maybe you might find it useful or informative. And if we botch it, we botch it. Oh well. But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd take the opportunity to make up for missed video. If it sounds interesting to you, just hang with me and we're going to get it done. So it's been raining a lot this last little bit. So today I'm just going to use a cotton ball with some petroleum jelly on it as a fire starter to there's some leaf litter in there just to kind of help me out a little bit, because time is of the essence for me this evening. To any of y'all that don't know, cotton ball and petroleum jelly, excellent fire starter. See if we can get this process going. Alrighty guys, so while my twig stove is heating up, I wanted to show you what it is that I cook in this thing that I use for breakfast. They sell these triple berry mixes. A lot of times they're only 88 cents, and you just have to put water and milk in it. I usually just use water because I am a little lactose, but you can use carnation powdered milk, and you don't have to keep that refrigerated, and you can take that with you right out backpacking or whatever, and it keeps perfectly well. I use water though, and so this mix you only need half a cup of water for. And so what I do is I usually don't want to make the whole thing, because like I said, I always make them in those little muffin, or well, I didn't cover that yet. I usually use this cook cup, and I use a little 1 cup stainless steel measuring cup, and I break the handle off, and it fits down in here well, and that's what I use to cook usually. But today we're going to be using this big guy because I've misplaced that little cup. But yeah, I take this mix, 88 cents or so, and I just take 2 clear cups or 4 clear cups, just whatever I want, but in this case I used 2. And then I just put equal amounts of the mix in each bag so that it was divided completely in half, so that I could use keep my measurements straight, so I could use half a cup or a quarter cup instead of a half a cup. Now to measure out on the trail, I just use one of these little water. This is the base of a water bottle. Let me set the tripod up so I can show you. This is just the base of a water bottle that I've cut to have a half a cup. And right here I've marked my quarter cup mark, and it smushes down. You know, it smushes down. It takes up no room, and it gives you a means to make measurements for your water and milk and stuff out in the wild, or out in the woods. Anyway, so you get one of these, which makes a pretty substantial size muffin loaf, and a cup of coffee or a cup of this green tea, and you've got breakfast for like what, 60 cents or less, 50 cents or so. Anyway, so the premise is to cook within a pan within a pan. So what you need to do is you need to get your little pan. This is a smaller from an old mess kit I had when I was a kid. I don't even know if I ever used this pan, but I'm gonna put this. This is just a canning lid from a ball mason jar. Put that in the bottom. You could do rocks too if you wanted to. It has to be something that won't break down or burn. And then you set your pan in on top of that, kind of in the middle. Pop your lid on, and then you've created an oven essentially. So let's get this mixed up, and I will show you, hopefully show you that in progress. So for, you could pack some cooking spray if you wanted to, you know, pack something that's non-perishable to help you grease your pans. But here's another method. It's mayo, and you can get these little mayo packets just about anywhere. And all you gotta do is ask, and they'll usually give you some for free. And it does not leave a taste on your food. I've done this plenty of times. You can't taste it. But you just put that down in your pan, and cat is going crazy out there. And just kind of work it around just like you would if you had butter or margarine. You can get butter packets or margarine packets. Dirt in there, oh well. You can get margarine packets from a lot of places too that don't really require refrigeration. But this mayo has so much fat in it that it's gonna lube it up, and it's gonna cook off and not leave much of a taste. But works as a perfect means for a non-refrigerated grease for your pan, or, you know, non-stick for your pan. So how I prepare this, I just take this. It's a little tricky when you got a camera on it. And then let me throw some sticks in my stove. Pour my water into a 1/4 cup because we're only making half of that mix. Pour into a 1/4 cup. Okay. If you need a little bit more water, you know, obviously it's probably better to go with less water first. And then if you need more, add it, but that makes too much sense for me today, right? So I'm gonna do it the hard way. I'll add a little bit more of the powder if I need it. And just squish it around until it's all mixed up. I may have put too much water, just like I said. Again, better to go with less first, right? Let's see. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think that'll work. So kind of just keep squishing it around until you got it all mostly mixed up. Then you take your greased pan, and I just cut the corner or nip the corner and squirt it in there. And it helps you, like, it cuts down. I hate to waste the plastic, but it really does cut down on your cleaning and cook. It cuts down on your cleaning and your the things you got to carry, you know. And you've already got this here, so and you really maximize the amount of mix you get out of there doing it that way. So we're gonna load the twig. We're gonna put this in here carefully. And if you hear my puppies crying, they're totally fine. They're just upset because I put them in their kennel. But I don't trust them not to knock this. I don't trust them to not knock the twig stove over. But now I've got my twig stove nice and warmed up. Twig stove's got a nice bed of coals, so now all I gotta do is just keep feeding it a little tinder down to the bottom there, and hopefully we cook. So let's hang out. Alright guys, so now it's just the waiting game. It's hard to really say how long we've been cooking already. But yeah, I just keep peeking. I'll just let it cook for 5 or so minutes and peek under the lid. After we get up to about 10 or 12 minutes, I check it every couple minutes just to make sure we don't burn. This mix usually takes like between 15 to 20 minutes in the oven, just depending on your oven power and whatnot. So yeah, you just got to watch it a little closer when it gets towards the end, like after about 10 minutes. And just, yeah, it's the waiting game. So they would not stop crying, and they won the battle. And I hate to keep them locked up when it's such a nice day. Now, these are 10-week-old Great Dane puppies. They're from a rescue, so had my other Great Dane died, and I loved her so much. So we got a couple more little stinkers, but they, yeah, like I said, they're glued to my hip 24/7, as they should be. Well, except for when I'm at work, because I'm trying to train them manners, because they make such large dogs. But yeah, they're eating my tinder right now, packing off my sticks from my twig stove. These were all piled up nicely. Anyway, waiting game. So we're going to peek in there and see what we got, because it's been cooking about 12 minutes or so, which this bigger pot's going to take a little bit longer time than I'm used to, because it takes a little bit more. Yeah. Oh yeah, looky there. It's starting to look quite spongy. I don't want to let the heat out. So we're almost there. And that whole thing about jabbing a toothpick in it, if it comes out clean, you're done. That's usually how most people test to see if they're done cooking. So yeah, I might whittle me down a stick and make sure it's clean so we can do just that. So we've been cooking somewhere in the range of about 16 minutes or so. So if this was inside, this should be getting done. So we're gonna peek in there and see what we got going. It smells good. Oh yeah, look at that. It smells amazing. Let's see. I don't want to leave this lid off too long because I don't want it to. It's coming out pretty clean. That's the whole spiel. If you got a toothpick and you pull it out and it comes out dry, then you're supposed to be done. But I'm going to leave it for about, I don't know, about another 2 minutes, just because I like the edges to be a little bit more brown. So yeah, hang tight. We'll get to it. Alrighty, folks, so I did exactly as I said. I gave it about a couple minutes. I don't know, I just kind of counted in my head, to be honest. I haven't looked at the clock in a while. And I put me some water on for coffee, because I haven't had coffee yet. It's already like 5 or 6 in the evening. But I work third, so perfectly acceptable time to have coffee. So yeah, I'm going to sit here for a minute, let my coffee water boil, and keep that lid on there so that stays nice and warm until your coffee's done. And then I'll show you what she looks like. Alrighty, so my coffee water is just about done. I'm going to go ahead and put this old Folgers, is what I got right now, rock gut coffee in there. Give it a stir. How you like this Light My Fire Spork I got for $5 from a salvage place, discount place. I've got some of the plastic ones. I use just like off-brand everything. Like I said, I'm all about saving money and trying to get you out there on the cheap. I've made some spoons and such, but I still like to use I have some plastic Light My Fire that work, and then, you know, I pack my own spoon and fork right from the kitchen. I'm not so much worried about the weight. All right, let's see if we can't, see how cool this is, or how hot that is. Woo-wee, that's hot. Let me grab my gloves. All right, so I got my gloves. Let's see. You could just eat this straight out of the pan, and that would be perfectly acceptable. See, this is... And that would be perfectly acceptable. But I'm going to see if I can't flip it, just to show you what it looks like on the bottom. And my coffee's done. I think so anyway. Stir it up a bit. Just leave that sit there so it stays warm. Yeah, we'll see if I can't flip this out of here. Rock gut coffee is better than nothing. All right, where'd my glove go? Yeah, you definitely want to use gloves for this part because it will burn the soup out of you. Been there, done that. Okay, let's see if we can't. I'm just gonna go around the edge like that with my spork. All right. Let's use my lid. Let's see if we can't. Yep. Yep, still hot. Okay, I just warned you about that. I even took my gloves off. Alright. Oh, look at that. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. He had a little bit stick, but not too bad. I'm going to scrape that out and eat it anyway. And I keep that little piece of sponge in my bag. Little toss of water, and yeah. And we'll be able to clean that up real quick. So there you go, folks. Alrighty, folks, so my SD card is running dangerously low. I'm going to sit here, let my twig stove finish burning, and enjoy my breakfast. I say breakfast because I work third shift. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it at least slightly informative. I know it was a little clutchy there and a little close-up. I was trying to wrangle these puppies over here. Anyway, sincerely want to thank you for joining me today. Take care of yourselves. I hope to see you again next time. Nice and baked all the way through. Still got it. Been a while, but still got it. Now, fresh coffee. Would it be Folgers if it didn't taste a little bit like burnt plastic?